So in 2024, my family actually lost 13.8K in 1 year. So yeah, it was a pretty cool situation. And I remember that in that period, I decided to step out, to help my family and start my online business, right? So the thing was never about the what, getting information. I knew that we have this luck, the people that at this kind of age that are born in 2090s, as an absolute incredible luck to live, in this internet era. And getting information was never the problem, right? The what was more about from who, you know, because you can get, the best information literally anywhere, but who's saying that? Who is actually, giving that kind of advice for you? So I actually get in a mentorship, and yeah, long story short, I was promised a certain result that at the end of a few months were not promised. And yeah, like I said, I won't be the first one that will kind of have this kind of things or anything like that in the online space. And yeah, at the end of the day, realistically speaking, was the first time that I was playing a game. And yeah, it's fine too. So I'm not saying that I didn't get what I was perceiving for. The work was done, but I feel like the promises that were not maintained, and some kind of behaviors when it comes to the values and principles. How you get professionally, how you look at the times that was done very purely from the point of view from the other guys. And yeah, the one thing that I learned was, and actually is, that hustle creates fast result, and principle creates empire. I'm saying this because literally what I've been told the whole life is just work harder and you will get result. But I found out at the age of 17 that this is actually bullshit. And I'm gonna explain you the step by step follow up in order to create your values and principle, in order to don't diverge. Because I've had vividly present and consciously present in my mind what my values were at the age of 17, but I was a sort of scammed at the age of 19. So how that is possible? Simply because life will test you, right? How many times do you actually learn something and from a textbook, and just learning from that, and apply in real life, and bam, in a magic of seconds, it was all easy and simple. The reality is not like that, and it takes time, iteration. And yeah, I just want to ask you if you actually know the difference between the value and principle. So, the core difference is actually that values are the seeds that you're gonna plant for yourself when it comes to characteristics and trait. They are nouns, and yeah, they are pretty changeable during time. Can be excellence, being humble, humbleness, coherence. There's a lot of things that define the values itself. And the difference between values and principle is that principle are something, are boundaries that you are gonna set for yourself in a more real way, right? So there are verbs, actions that you are taking care about yourself, right? So it's more like having an hygiene standard for yourself on a day-to-day basis. Actually, the first thing that came to my mind is actually, say thank you to the waitress. Very simple stuff that at the end of the day defines and give style to yourself. So that is, the biggest thing. And yeah. So you may ask how, now that I understand what values and principle are, how do you have these values and principles since the age of 17, right? First of all, I just want to clarify that they are not static forever, and you can change them for time and for interaction. Because at the end of the day, you're just a kid, or maybe an adult man, a grown-up man, but there's no difference. You're just gonna experience the real world and get better from that. So how do you list your values in principle? First of all, just simply take a timer set 50 minutes and write down a list of 30 values. And if at the end of the day, at the end of the 15 minutes, you don't have the 30 values, just search on the internet list generation values, and you can easily look up to them what your eyes catch first. And same thing for principle, just set a timer 15 minutes. Very simple, very practical. If at the end of the timer you don't even have one or two, that's no problem. You can just search on the internet. And now that you have these 30 values in principle, just look up the top 10 for each of the list, right? First of all, just prioritize, the first one, the second one, the third one. And if you don't know the exact precision, just decide, it's not something that you have to carry, and the number of priority that you have to carry throughout your whole life. And it can be very simple, like my first priority is actually being excellent at what I do. My first priority is actually when it comes to values, being free from whatever it is. It can be time free, financial free, and location free. Be a coherent person. There's a lot of things, right? So you can actually test for yourself and see what works the best for times. And again, there's no pressure on that. So that is the simplest way that I can describe it. And I'll be honest with you. I've seen and I studied a lot of high achievers, people in all these years, right? Multi-Olympic champions, they can be wherever it is when it comes to finances, or even when it comes to spirituality, right? That was a particular thing, but on the spirituality side. But in every field, I literally studied and met every kind of person. And the one trait that I find out to be absolutely true is that the ones that stay at the top for a very long time in their field have clearly glister clear the values and principle in their mind, right? It's not something that, again, you do in a second. It takes time and it takes years in order to do that, right? So if you actually enjoyed all this topic, the values and principle, how to stay at the end of the day, stay in a good mood, and being fulfilled of what you do, and also about the athleticism, because it's not just about finances, the Olympics or whatever, right? It's just look at things as a person, right? So actually, I'm writing a newsletter every week on Sunday at 8 a.m. So I'm gonna publish things that are similar to this topic, so like this. And just click the link down below, subscribe.